The phone slips from Lara's fingers. She catches it before it hits the wet ground, her knees already soaked through from crouching behind the hedge for the last 40 minutes. The rain doesn't care. It keeps falling hard, cold, indifferent, drenching her silk blouse, flattening her hair against her face, washing the mascara down her cheeks in slow black rivers. Somewhere far off, a siren wails. It gets louder, then quieter, then it disappears altogether, but Lara doesn't breathe again until it does. Behind her, pressed flat against the mansion wall, Teni grabs her arm. Her grip is iron. If they see us with that, Teni hisses, voice barely a sound, we are finished. Do you understand me? Finished. Lara doesn't answer. She stares at the massive windows of the estate looming above them, warm amber light bleeding through the curtains, shadows moving slowly behind the glass. Her jaw tightens. 6 hours ago, she whispers, almost to herself, all we wanted was rich men and a good time. She pauses, swallows. Now we're out here risking everything for it. Teni doesn't respond to that. There is nothing to say. Because she knows Lara is right. But let's go back. Let's go back to 6 hours before that moment, before the rain, before the terror, before the thing they found inside that mansion that changed all three of them in ways they couldn't yet name. Let's go back to the apartment, where everything still smelled like perfume and possibility. It's 8 p.m. and the girls are beautiful, and they know it, and Lagos is waiting. Lara stands in front of the mirror, smoothing the sides of a midnight blue dress that fits like it was made for her. She does that thing she always does before going out, checks her reflection once quickly, then looks away like she doesn't quite trust what she sees. There's a softness in her face that she works hard to hide, a hopefulness she hasn't quite learned to suppress. From the bathroom doorway, Zara watches her do this and smiles, because she knows exactly what it means. You're thinking about muckers again, Zara says. I'm not, Lara says. Your eyebrows do a whole thing when you think about muckers. My eyebrows are fine. Teni walks out of the bedroom in a red dress that stops the conversation entirely. She spins once, arms out, perfectly unapologetic, a woman who has decided exactly what she wants from the world and exactly how to take it. Tonight, she announces, pointing at both of them, I land a billionaire. I'm putting it in the universe right now. I'm being very intentional. Lara raises an eyebrow, and what happens if he turns out to be trouble? Teni blinks slowly. Lara, my love, a billionaire cannot be trouble. Trouble is when your account balance has feelings. Zara snorts, pulling on her earrings at the kitchen counter. You mean more trouble than your current account already knows about. My account is going through something, Teni says seriously. Tonight it is healing. They laugh, all three of them, the kind of laugh that fills a small apartment and spills out through the window into the humid evening air. The laugh that says, we're young, we're together, and the city is ours for the taking. They don't know yet what the city is about to take back. The rooftop party is everything Lagos knows how to do when it decides to show off. Champagne towers that catch the light and throw it back in gold. A DJ who knows exactly how to make a crowd feel like the main character. Women in outfits that cost more than rent. Men who wear wealth the way others wear perfume. You don't see it, you just feel it when they walk past. The skyline stretches out in every direction like someone spread jewels across black velvet. Teni is in her element immediately. She moves through the crowd like she belongs there, which, Lara thinks watching her, is 90% of how you get anywhere in this world. Lara stays close to the edge of the rooftop railing, champagne glass in hand, scanning faces. She tells herself she's not looking for muckers. She tells herself this is fine. She tells herself a lot of things on evenings like this. It's while she's standing there, half listening to Zara make devastating commentary about a man in a leopard print pocket square, that she sees it. Across the glittering sprawl of the city, set back behind iron gates and dense trees, there is a mansion, lit up and massive and somehow separate from everything around it like it exists in its own atmosphere. Something makes her look twice, a feeling she doesn't have a name for yet. Her chest tightens the smallest amount. She looks away. And then, because this is the kind of night where the universe has already decided what story it's going to tell, Teni shoves through the crowd holding 2 more glasses of champagne, bumps into a laughing stranger, and in the beautiful chaos of collision, Lara goes over the edge of the pool. Not the rooftop edge, the pool. The decorative infinity pool on the south side of the terrace that Lara had completely forgotten existed. The cold hits her like a verdict. She surfaces sputtering. A man she has never met in her life surfaces next to her, equally drenched, and stares at her like he cannot believe his evening. Around the pool, people laugh. Some of them film it. Someone actually claps. Teni stares down at her from the pool ledge, champagne still in hand, face cycling through 5 emotions in 3 seconds. Then she starts laughing too. Teni, Lara says from inside the pool, water running down her face. You look incredible, Teni says. Teni, very refreshed. It takes 20 minutes and a borrowed blazer to restore any semblance of dignity. The rest takes longer. By the time Lara is dried off enough to be presentable, the party has shifted, curfew announcements crackling through someone's phone, ride apps going dark, the easy confidence of the evening curdling at the edges. The kind of night that turns suddenly, without warning, the way weather does. Every app is surging, Zara says, frowning at her screen. No, wait, they're cancelling, all of them. What do you mean cancelling? Teni grabs her phone. How does a whole city cancel? Curfew zone's been extended, someone nearby announces, not unkindly. Nothing moving till 6 a.m. The three of them look at each other. The rooftop is thinning out quickly now, people dispersing in 2s and 3s with connections and drivers and plans that Lara, Teni and Zara do not have. The champagne buzz is evaporating. What's left behind is cold and a little ugly. Okay, Lara says, pulling the borrowed blazer tighter. We think. We don't panic, Zara adds. We absolutely do not panic, Teni agrees. And then 2 seconds later, I'm panicking a little. That is when Udra Vale appears. He doesn't announce himself. Men like Udra never do, they simply arrive in a space, and suddenly, the geometry of the room reorganizes itself around them. Tall. Unhurried, wearing a jacket that costs what some people make in a quarter. He has the kind of face that's been trained to reveal very little, and eyes that notice everything. He looks at the three of them, wet-haired Lara in someone else's blazer, Teni gripping her phone like a weapon, Zara arms folded, already skeptical, and something almost like amusement crosses his expression. Almost. You're stranded, he says, not a question.
We are evaluating
our options, Lara says carefully. Your options are limited. He slips his phone into his pocket. I have a place nearby. You're welcome to wait out the curfew there. A pause. There's no obligation. Teni grabs both of Lara's wrists from behind and squeezes exactly twice. Zara leans close to Lara's ear. He could be a serial killer. He's wearing Loro Punna, Teni whispers back urgently. Serial killers can afford nice things, Teni. Not that nice. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and sit tight because we are on a long ride for more stories. Lara looks at Udra. He is already looking away, giving them the space to decide, which is either very considerate or very calculated, and she cannot tell which. Behind him, through the rooftop railing, she can see the city spreading outward. And there she sees it again. That mansion, lit up and isolated, glowing like something from a different century. Her stomach does a small, quiet thing she chooses to ignore. Okay, she hears herself say, thank you. The mansion is worse up close. Not worse in any way she can point to. Everything is immaculate, the sweeping driveway, the pale stone facade, the interior that opens into ceilings so high you feel briefly small and then briefly magnificent. It is the kind of house that is designed to make you feel both at once, so you stay off balance, so you're grateful to be inside it. But there are security cameras on every corner of the gate. There are 2 men stationed near the east wing who are clearly not staff. There are doors, several of them with keypads instead of handles. And Udran's friend Lucas, who meets them in the foyer with a glass of something amber and a smile that doesn't quite reach his eyes, watches the 3 of them the way you watch something you're still deciding about. Jackpot, Teni murmurs under her breath, eyes moving across the chandelier, the art on the walls, the staircase that curves like a sentence you want to finish. We hit the jackpot. Or a trap, Zara says, not bothering to lower her voice much. Lucas glances at her, she holds his gaze. They are shown to a guest suite, lavish, separate, unnecessary in its comfort. Lara sits on the edge of the bed and stares at the floor for a long moment. She takes out her phone. There's a message from Muckers, sent an hour ago. Hey's thinking about you. She reads it 3 times, she doesn't respond. Muckers, who has the warmth of a man who learned warmth as a performance rather than a reflex. Muckers, who buys her things with the precision of someone settling an invoice. Muckers, who she loves anyway, stubbornly, frustratingly, against the advice of everything she knows about herself. She puts the phone face down. By morning, the curfew has lifted in theory. In practice, none of them leave. It's Zara who says it first, standing in the kitchen while coffee brews, looking out at the sprawling grounds. We should go. We should eat breakfast first, Teni says, already seated, helping herself to fruit that probably costs more per piece than a full market. I mean it, Teni, something is off here. Something is off because you've decided something is off. Everything looks perfectly. The doors in the east wing have keypads. A pause. So, Teni says. So what does a man keep behind keypads in his own house? No one answers that. Lara wraps both hands around her coffee cup and stares at the grounds outside, manicured, endless, green, and feels the edges of last night's decision pressing in. They made a choice. Easy, fast, understandable, and now they're inside it. Lucas appears in the kitchen doorway, smooth, easy, present. Sleep well, he asks. Very, Teni says warmly. Zara smiles at him with her mouth only. And Lara watches him the way you watch someone you have not yet figured out, the way you watch a door that hasn't opened yet, not knowing whether behind it is a room or a drop. It's Zara who finds them. She isn't even looking, not exactly. She's explung, the way Zara does everything quietly, methodically, with a kind of focused curiosity that has always made Teni call her a detective and Lara call her a liability. She drifts down a hallway while Teni flirts with Lucas by the pool and Lara sits with a book she isn't reading. A side corridor, a room that's more office than lounge. The door is open just enough. Inside, on a wide mahogany desk, a folder sits open, not hidden, not locked, just present in the way things are present when someone expects no one to come looking. Zara pauses in the doorway. She doesn't go in. She just reads what she can from where she stands. Names that don't match the faces they're attached to. Shell companies spelled out in careful columns. Photographs paperclipped to documents, buildings she doesn't recognize, men she doesn't know. Her blood runs cold. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and sit tight because we are on a long ride for more stories. She backs away from the door slowly and goes to find Lara. We need to leave, she says quietly, finding her in the sunroom. Right now. Lara looks up, she reads Zara's face, has been reading it for years, and closes her book without question. How bad? I don't know exactly, bad enough. They find Teni by the pool, laughing at something Lucas has said, her head tuppered back and her whole body leaning toward him like a flower toward light. Lara puts a hand on her shoulder and leans down. We're leaving, she says, now. Teni's smile doesn't fall immediately, it takes a second. What, why, it's still. Now, Zara says from behind Lara, the word is flat and final. Teni looks at Lucas. Lucas looks at the three of them with that same expression from the night before, still, measuring, unreadable. He smiles slowly. I'll have someone bring the car around, he says. We'll walk, Lara says immediately. Something passes through his eyes. The gate locks from the inside, you'll need a code. Nobody speaks for a moment. Right, Lara says carefully, then we'd love a car, thank you. They go upstairs to get their things. The moment the bedroom door closes, Teni rounds on them. What is happening? What did you find? Zara explains, fast and low. Teni's face changes in real time, the warmth draining out of it, something sharper taking its place. Okay, Teni says, she's trying to sound steady, she almost manages it. Okay, we just walk out, we haven't done anything wrong. Except we went into that office, Zara says. You went in. I stood in the doorway. Either way, Lara cuts in, we need the documents. Both of them stare at her. Lara, Teni says slowly. If anything happens to us, we need proof of what we saw. Otherwise, it's just three girls who broke into a rich man's office and saw nothing. She looks at them both. We need something to hold. Teni makes a sound that might be a prayer or a curse. This is not the soft life I visualized. Go back, Lara says to Zara. Get what you can. Teni, keep Lucas busy downstairs. 5 minutes, that's all. They split apart. What happens next happens fast, the way danger always does, in this compressed, tilted rush where time goes elastic and your senses sharpen past their usual limits. Zara gets back into the office, photographs with her phone, 2 pages, 3. Her hands are steady and she is proud of them for that. She doesn't hear the footsteps until they stop just outside the door. She presses flat against the wall. A security guard. He stands in the doorway for 6 full seconds. Zara counts them and then moves on. She exhales through her teeth. Outside, Teni is running out of things to say to Luckers. She can feel his patience like a physical presence, polite and absolute and finite. You know, Luckers says quietly, Udrin doesn't like people in the West Corridor. Teni smiles at him. We've been by the pool all morning. Have you? He says it like he already knows otherwise. At exactly the wrong moment, or perhaps the right one, the moment everything was always building toward, Zara appears at the top of the stairs. She signals to Teni with her eyes. Teni starts moving. Lara comes out of the bedroom. And Udroan appears at the base of the staircase. He looks up at them. 3 women, mid-motion, guilty of nothing they can be accused of and everything they've actually done. The phone is in Zara's jacket pocket. The images are on it. The rain has started outside, sudden, heavy, the way rain decides things in the city. Going somewhere, Udrin asks. His voice is calm, completely calm. That is somehow the most frightening part. Curfew's lifted, Lara says. She walks down the stairs at a measured pace. She doesn't look at Teni. She doesn't look at Zara. She looks at Udroan the entire way down. We're so grateful for your hospitality, she continues, voice smooth, but we have somewhere to be. A long pause. Udroan looks at each of them in turn. Of course, he says finally. The gate code is given, the door opens, they walk out into the rain. They don't run until they're off the property, then they run. Behind the hedge soaked to the bone, hearts hammering, Zara checks the photos on her phone. Still there. Lara looks at the mansion one last time. The curtains are drawn now, nothing moves. If they see us with that, Teni hisses, voice barely a sound, we are finished. Do you understand me? Finished. Lara doesn't answer. She stares at the massive windows of the estate looming above them, warm amber light bleeding through the curtains, shadows moving slowly behind the glass. Her jaw tightens. We wanted luxury, Lara says softly, almost to herself. We wanted the soft life. Easy money, easy men, easy everything. She shakes her head, and it almost. Don't, Teni says, her voice is rough, don't say it. Muckers calls. Lara feels the vibration in her hand. She stares at his name on the screen, water running down her face. She thinks about warmth as performance. She thinks about what she almost became tonight, someone who mistakes proximity to wealth for safety. Someone who chases the glitter without asking what's underneath it. She lets it ring. Zara looks back at the mansion's silhouette through the downpour, dark now, massive, silent. Do you think we're safe? She asks. Nobody answers, because the honest answer is that they don't know, because safe is a feeling and feelings lie, because they have a phone full of photographs of something they were never supposed to see, and morning is still a long way off, and men like Udra and Vale have long memories. The 3 of them stand there in the rain, alive and shaken and together. And here is the question that lingers, the one none of them will say out loud, not tonight, maybe not ever. If the soft life you're chasing requires you to look away from what's really happening in the room, does that make you complicit, or does it just make you human? Think about that. And if this story got under your skin, if Lara, Teni, and Zara feel like women you know, like choices you've seen made, hit that like button, drop a comment telling me which of the 3 girls you are, and subscribe so you never miss what happens next. Because this night, it's not over.